I'm Kelly. Welcome to PubTalk. We have plenty of seats up in the front. Don't be shy. Come on down. These are not reserved. We'd love to see the whole front area be full. And I'm happy to tell you that I am hosting PubTalk thanks to our MC sponsor, OSU Cascades. So even though it's midnight, you all are having a great time. I'm so impressed. OSU Cascades is building a workforce to power Central Oregon innovation. This fall's record growth in high-demand programs from engineering to biochemistry is shaping the future of business and economic vitality across the region. Learn more at osucascades.edu. And also, thank you to our PubTalk title sponsors for making PubTalk a reality every month. We'd like to welcome them up on stage one at a time. First up, Jordan Smith from CMIT Solutions. Jordan, how you doing?
Thank you, Shannon. Good evening, everybody. Did you guys enjoy the beautiful sunset on your way home from work? Ready for daylight savings to kick back in April or March or whenever it is. My name is Jordan Smith. I'm with CMIT Solutions. We specialize in providing IT services and support to businesses that are growing here in Central Oregon. So if that's you, I'd love to connect with you. We handle cybersecurity, support, projects, professional services, all of that. One of the things we do that kind of benefit of having a company like us is we provide our clients with a security software tool, and we constantly look for the one that's the best rated. Right? It's like the Gartner, chart. You guys probably have all seen that for whatever it is in your industry. And we look at that and we say, okay, this is the best one. And so if it's not the one we're currently using, we just swap that out. And we just keep up on that. So our clients are always using kind of like the best cutting edge security software because we research that and keep on top of that and make sure that we get that in place for all of our clients. So again, that's something you guys are looking for. Certainly come and find me. But I'm excited about PubTalk this evening. Thank you to EDCO and everyone for putting this on. We got some AI in the keynote, which is exciting. We got some swimwear for kind of some underserved, right, demographics. So that's going to be cool. And then some
Beef tallow.
Tallow, right? Beef tallow cream. So I'm excited to hear about all of that. So thank you, everybody. Welcome. And I'll pass it back to Shannon.
Thanks, Jordan. We do have a great lineup tonight. And next up, Emma James from Exemplar Wealth Advisors. Emma, I think, is David coming up with you as well? No, he says no, but he is here. Hello, David. All right, Emma, take it away.
Thank you, Shannon. Hello, everyone. My name is Emma James. I'm a financial advisor and partner at Exemplar Wealth Advisors, formerly known as Roselle Wealth Management. Mr. Roselle is in the house, by the way. We recently rebranded, and I want to give you a sense of why we chose the name Exemplar. Exemplar or exemplary is to have achieved something of excellence. So much so that it is a guide or a model for folks to follow. And we chose that name because we feel like exemplar reflects the people that we serve and who we aspire to be. We work with entrepreneurs who are incredible human beings who are constantly innovating, impacting the world of work, and that truly is exemplar. Now, we know that in order to embody the fullest exemplary version of yourself, you need resources and education to help you get there. And we help support business owners as they prepare for and sell their businesses so that they can truly enjoy what's next on the other side. And there's not a lot of resources out there on how to do that complicated process. So we invite you to join us. We've been hosting some educational seminars this year, and we have our final one in December. It is on December 3rd on Wednesday. So if you are a business owner or a professional who supports business owners, scan the QR code, come hang out with us, learn about the 6 opportunities that you can capture as you prepare for your business sale, and enjoy some good food. And if you're feeling a little shy and you're not really ready to hang out with us yet, there are some books out in the lobby written by David Roselle, and there's an excellent chapter that gives you a sneak peek on what these opportunities look like. So with that, thank you, Shannon.
Well done. An invitation and a little tease. I like it. Trevor Campbell with Kernet Stokes. Trevor, come on up. How are you doing?
All right, thanks. I'm doing great. It's both a privilege and always intimidating to come up after Emma, who always does a great job, and then I feel like I have to be extra funny and intelligent. I'm Trevor Campbell. I'm a partner with Kernet Stokes. We're a CPA and consulting firm here in Bend. I was just looking at the names and thinking about kind of everybody that comes up and speaks every time at this, and we're just incredibly honored to be part of this group. I look at the names. I look at, BBK and Exemplar and CMIT, and these are all top of class organizations here. And I think what we're aiming for is we don't just want to be like a sponsor and come up and speak. We're looking to build a business community that supports this community, that you don't have to, you can be an entrepreneur and build something, which is what so many people do in Bend. And then we want you to be able to stay here and thrive. And we know you can do that with the law firms, with the banks, with the investment advisors. And we want to be the CPA that is here for you to do that too. That you can kind of be in this community for as long as you want to be. So if you find you have a need, we love working with businesses and business owners. Come reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you.
It's Trevor. Thank you. Very well said. I appreciate that. All right, Julianne Horner with Providence Health Plan. Julianne, how you doing?
Well, talk about intimidation. I have to talk about health insurance. So we're going to start there. I actually had a different thing to talk to you about tonight, but from the time I walked in the door to the time I got here tonight, I heard a lot of people asking me about their health insurance because most of you are in your renewal season. And so you're asking about, why are the premiums going up? How does my health insurance work? Why is this happening? And what I want to tell you is, if you want change, you have to be curious. You have to know how your health insurance works. Don't be afraid to give a call to customer service. And to give a plug to AI, a lot of people don't want to make that call to customer service. They think it's like the Bend broadband and they're going to be on hold forever, which is not the case. But if you plug your question into AI, it's going to give you a very intelligent response that you can keep asking it questions to. So it will teach you so much more about how to use your healthcare, what all of the definitions mean, because it is like a foreign language. And my hope for you is that when I come next year at the same time, I don't get mugged all the way back up here. So we are always thrilled to be up here. We care so much about this community. We serve you and a lot of the people here in our community. We hope that you will continue to let us serve you, and we hope you enjoy tonight.
Thanks, Julianne. We appreciate you so much. Okay, Kurt Barker and Mark Reinhardt from Best and Krieger. We've got two of you this time. Very exciting.
Thank you so much. Kurt, your local friendly employment attorney. We are going to do a giveaway. You'll need Mark's email address for that. But you have suffered and indulged me on this microphone for far too long. I'm tremendously pleased to introduce Mark Reinhardt.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mark Reinhardt. It's great to be here. I am so thrilled to be a part of the BBK team. Really quick show of hands. How many Oregon State grads do we have in here? Okay. Any OSU Cascades grads? Yeah, there we go. Okay. So I graduated from OSU Cascades in 2010 with a degree basically in fishing guiding, when no one had money to pay those people in Bend in 2010 for that. So I spent the last 15 years going to law school, working for judges, doing the big city, big firm M&A grind, all so that I could afford to move back to Central Oregon. And I'm finally back here. My practice focuses mainly on, starting entity formations, structuring transactions, making and taking investments, and buying and selling companies. So if you have any questions in that vein, or if you want to go fishing sometime, please email me right there. And then another question, so we can test how we're going to do this. By show of hands, who's willing to raise their hand to get a $100 gift card? Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah, now you guys can't chicken out. So, as an OSU Cascades grad, question, what was the first year that OSU Cascades started offering classes, technically at the COCC campus? You guys said you'd raise your hands. There we go. Nick. No. Nope. Who said '01? You didn't raise your hand, but that's okay. We'll allow it. All right. It's so great to be here. Thank you guys so much to EDCO and BBK. And yeah, back to you, Shannon.
Thanks, you guys. Thanks, Mark and Curtin. Thank you for bringing a giveaway. Who doesn't love a $100 gift card? Love a $100 gift card. Okay, let's give a hand to all of our sponsors, Best and Krieger, CMIT Solutions, Exemplar Wealth Advisors, Kernet Stokes, and Providence Health Plans. These partners help us make PubTalk a reality every single month. We're so grateful. Now, for an update on the economic development efforts from Redmond Economic Development, Inc., our director, Steve Curley. Come on up, Steve.
It's a bright light. Good evening. Before I get started, you see different ones of us up here. A lot of times you see John up here, but there's a whole team of EDCO folks. If you're EDCO, raise your hand. Don, Kelsey, give these guys a hand. They're out in the regional community doing the work to help make economic development possible here in Central Oregon. So great team to be a part of. Honored to be here and tell you a little bit about what's going on in Redmond this evening. So I'm just going to talk some numbers just to give you an idea of the scale. So the total number of projects that we have in our pipeline right now, 19 companies representing over 2,900 jobs and over 757 million in capital investment. So a huge pipeline. But to bring that down, not all projects finish, takes years. So I'm just going to name 4 that are coming out of the ground right now in Redmond. So we have a small medical container manufacturing company called Pultex building their first manufacturing facility in Redmond. Baselite, which does concrete products, pavers, concrete blocks, those kinds of things. They are building phase 1 of a showroom that'll eventually become phase 2 manufacturing facility right now. Just getting the roof on and getting that buttoned in for winter. Nosler, which is kind of a niche munitions and rifle manufacturer, building an 80,000 square foot facility. They were just putting the girders on for the roof the other day. Huge project. And then the one that everybody is excited about, so you can get your toothbrush overnight, is Amazon. So Amazon is moving extremely quickly. They're hoping to have that last mile delivery facility done in the spring. And that's another 80,000 square foot facility. These projects, which are happening right now, represent 466 jobs and over 91.6 million in capital investment. So just to give you And so if we look at what has already happened in Redmond this year, so we've had 6 companies complete their projects. They're in them, they're using them. Equipment Share, BaseX Expansion, Ben Teardrop, they manufacture those little teardrop trailers. K&E Excavating, Hayden Homes, headquarters, they call it something else, but I'll eventually remember that. And a little company called Blocklock that moved here from Colorado. 121 jobs, over $33 million in capital investment. Those are done deals that have happened already. So what else is happening? We've got a Tractor Supply coming in. We've got a new McDonald's that opened up, a Wendy's coming in, a Holiday Inn Express, another hotel, Heart of Oregon Core headquarters. We've got over $500 million in public and nonprofit projects, the library, the airport, wetlands, police, public safety building. So it's just the community is really growing. It's fun to be a part of and to see this happen. And so I just want to touch on one other area of investment. So workforce, education, these are all important in our world of economic development. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that Redmond High School has a school bond, but they're investing $10 million in expanding their CTE program, their welding, woodworking, all that. And so that is underway and will be done in the next year or two. And then COCC is investing $8 million in their manufacturing program. So they're going to expand a building. They're improving the programs that they have there to support the workforce that we have. So just phenomenal growth happening in Redmond. Fun to be a part of it. Thank you for letting me share that with you this evening.
Great update. And on top of it all, Redmond has all the fancy coffee shops now, which I really love myself. Okay, we would like to extend a thank you to all of our EDCO members. EDCO membership underwrites a variety of support and resources, including events just like this one, and all the efforts to build a prosperous and sustainable economy. If you are not a member, we would love for you to join us. So talk to Larry Holman or any of the other EDCO team members tonight. We are pleased to announce our newest EDCO members, Chernoff, Vilhauer, McClung, and Stenzel LLP. Are you all here? Okay. There we are. Welcome. Composite Approach, Long Design, Red Point Construction Management, and TECO Ops. And I believe TECO Ops, there we are. Oh, you're all together. Very nice. Thanks for being here and welcome. And if you want to hear your business called out at a future Pub Talk, you want to learn more about EDCO membership, Larry Holman is the man to talk to, or really any of our members at EDCO. So thanks all of you for being here tonight. We are thrilled that you're here. We have a super exciting lineup tonight. Now, what we do want to ask is, out of respect for our speakers, if you're in this room, that you'll stay with us for the long haul. We want to make sure that we're being the most supportive that we can be for our speakers. If you have to leave early, we ask you to just stay out in the main area where we're streaming the event, and we appreciate your cooperation with that. So let's get into it. Possum Fox is the creative and technical partnership of founders Rose Etherington and Isaac Etherington. Rose provides the crucial eye for aesthetics and brand narrative, drawing on 8 years in the film industry where she honed her skills in visual design and storytelling. Complementing her vision is Isaac, who brings a unique commitment to excellence. Not only is he an accomplished graphic designer, but he also serves his community as a medevac helicopter pilot for Life Flight Network, right here in Central Oregon. Their combined creative and technical precision informs the brand's quality and its drive to both serve their craft and their community. Welcome to the stage, Rose and Isaac.
Is that our clicker?
Excuse me.
Those are her hands. All right, everybody. It's really good to be here. Thanks for having us. We're super excited to be here talking to you guys at EDCO at the Pub Talks. My name's Isaac. As mentioned, great intro. Thank you. This is my lovely wife, Rose, and we are Possum Fox Backyard Goods. And out of Sisters, Oregon, we manufacture some of the best skincare that you can put on your body. And it all started 3 years ago when we embarked on this mission to get the toxins out of our house, of which there were many. And that started small. We made simple 2-ingredient pioneer style soap out of tallow, and we turned it into Christmas presents for our family. Turned out it was the best stuff we ever put on our skin, no joke. And fast forward 3 years later, we have a pretty impressive line of all natural skincare, again, made in Sisters, Oregon, tallow based, that not only is it some of the most elegant and luxurious skin creams I've ever tried, but it does not have any of the endocrine disruptors, the cancer-causing carcinogens, and the parabens, the PCBs, all the other junk that a lot of the mainstream stuff has today.
Speaking of toxins, did you know that the average American comes in contact with upward of 168 chemicals every single day? And I know that sounds crazy, but when you really start to think about it, your makeup, skincare, deodorant, shampoo, dishwashing detergent, the list goes on and on and on. And unfortunately, our favorite household items are making us sick. Even though we've made amazing breakthroughs in cancer prevention and treatment, we are still on the upward incline as far as people being diagnosed with it. Unfortunately, that is multifaceted. Much of it we can't control, but we can control what we put on our skin. If you're reading a label and you can't pronounce it and you wouldn't put it in your mouth, you probably should not be putting it on your skin. People are becoming more and more aware. We're noticing the younger generation especially. I think social media is probably to thank for that. They're very much aware of toxins, especially in skincare and makeup. In fact, we are still using chemicals in our skincare in the United States that have been banned in other countries. So there is a need for more options that mimic the luxurious skincares that you would buy at your local Nordstrom beauty counter, but that are completely all natural. There is a demand for it.
Yeah, and if you're paying attention to social media, or just these upward trends in healthy living, tallow is a word that's kind of making a big comeback now. Tallow goes back a long ways. My grandma cooked with it. Everything got fried in tallow. It makes a great shortening for baking. My dad used tallow to treat all his leather goods before going outside. Using tallow as skincare goes back all the way to the days of ancient Egypt. But what is tallow? Tallow is rendered or clarified, or in other words, highly purified fat from beef. In Europe, they use sheep and other things. But what makes it such an amazing skincare base is that tallow has almost an identical molecular makeup to the oils that we humans secrete. So when it's used as skincare, not only does it feel amazing, but it goes down and it moisturizes on a cellular level. And when you start treating your skin like that, it's allowed to go back to its natural state where it's allowed to heal itself and it starts to become healthy. And when you use tallow as skincare, we see things like eczema disappear, burn care, amazing, heals burns overnight, psoriasis, rosacea, anything that's got your skin embattled. Tallow makes an amazing support system. It heals, it restores, and it protects. And it is an amazing answer to the need for natural, healthy products in our homes, in our lives.
Our mission is to lead the charge in getting toxins completely out of skincare. We want to be the bridge between luxurious skincare and the all-natural green market. We also want to educate our audience on why it's important that they pay attention to this, that they start using natural skincare now for health right now and for longevity. It's our goal to actually build a brand that is here in Central Oregon and that exemplifies all of the values we share here. We value health, we value getting outside, we value community, breathing fresh air and just being out there, and we value longevity.
Yep, 100%. And the skincare market's it's pretty impressive, and there's a lot of room to grow, which is pretty sweet. The global skincare market in 2025 is worth $192 billion, but projected by 2035 to be worth $435 billion. And still there's this really small kind of untouched subset, a small portion of that, probably 10-15%, that is really starting to embrace the green, clean, healthy, natural aspect. So there's a great growth for that. Our main demographic right now who we're targeting are primarily the 18 to 40-year-olds who are aware of the danger that's out there, but they're not willing to compromise the good feels and the qualities of this kind of stuff, and maintain the green stuff as well. We're also seeing an amazing uptick since we started doing this in the grandma and grandpa class, that level, folks that are really inspired to fight the effects of aging, but doing it in an uncompromising, all-natural sort of a way. So that's good. Right now, our competition, of course, we got big skincare, the mainstream, your Chanel's, your L'Oreal's, your Oil of Olay's, but these, we don't even see these as competition because these are the ones that are laden with the dangerous stuff that are on another level. But what's interesting, you guys have probably seen it as well, in the last few years, we're seeing an uptick in this kind of stuff, in tallow-based foods and skincare, this move towards green, healthy, natural living. But we found that when we study that market, a lot of times we don't see the elegance and the luxury that that Possum Fox has achieved. There's still kind of a big gap between the really fancy stuff and the green, wholesome, eco-friendly stuff.
The good news is we're growing faster than we were expecting. What started out as a part-time passion project for us has blown up into a full-time job. We started out in the farmers markets here, and we were so grateful. We were just immediately embraced by the market here. We established a very solid and rapidly growing fan base. Our customers are recommending us to their friends and to their families and to their coworkers. We are so grateful for that. We have a very busy social media presence. We have a weekly newsletter that we're using to educate our audience on skincare, and that is just growing every single week.
Yeah, 100%. And our ask today, the reason we came here today, first of all, I want to thank Brian and Eric for inviting us here. It was really great to meet you guys. But number one, we want you guys to know we're here, and we want you to try our stuff. And we left a handful of things on the back table as you're coming in there. We've got great beard balms, hand creams, face creams, a little pain relief balm, stuff you can grab a little swab of and try it as you're walking out. But we are seeking just partnerships and collaborations, and even potentially, you know, a good investor to help us, number one, kind of expand our production, as well as improve and upscale our packaging, and ultimately reach a bigger market. So we're super stoked to be here, and thanks for checking us out, you guys. Cheers.
Thank you.
Well done. That was a great pitch.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, really nice.
It's good to be here.
Okay, so talk to me a little bit about your product. I have used a couple different tallow products. In fact, I'm using a soap right now that a friend gave me. It's awesome. But I have tried some in the past that like really smell like animals, which my dogs love.
Yes.
But I don't super love. So tell me how you've overcome that aspect.
That's
of it.
a really good question.
Yeah.
So a lot of people think of tallow, and they think of, you know, you go to the butcher shop, you know, get your meat, and they sell that jar of tallow that a lot of people use for cooking. It's different. So when you use tallow, that stuff's great for your skin, but it is going to have the smell. It's going to have the grit. When you prepare tallow, when you turn suet into tallow for skincare, there's a more of an in-depth, more of a process to purify it, clarify it, and really get the smells out. So it's an art, and it's something that we spent a couple of years really perfecting, but that is one of the biggest turnoffs to tallow-based skincare, is that a lot of times it smells like hamburger.
When we first started, I put my foot down. I was like, we will not smell like beef. Like, call me crazy, but
yeah, it's a little gamey. Yeah, and
Yes.
like one bad one will turn you off. But I love that you guys have been able to refine it. Okay, any questions for these? I mean, I certainly have more questions, but do you guys have questions? Yes, here we are. Great question. Where can you buy your product?
online, of course, but we are also here in Bend at Locavore and Local Acres, and we are in Sisters at Sisters Apothecary.
Yep, and right now we're on a little bit of a mission to get out there, and we envision our stuff in the wet bars of the ski resorts, in the gift shops, that kind of stuff. So we are always seeking new local marketplaces.
Oh, I can think of a ton of places where you guys would be great. Okay.
Deal.
Yes.
Where are you sourcing your tallow, and how does it tie into your sustainability?
Where are you sourcing your tallow, and how does that tie into your sustainability ethos?
That's an awesome question. Mind if I answer that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we only get our suet or fat from small ranches to meet our standards, they have to be grass-fed. They have to be no hormones. Right now, we've been lucky enough to find ones that aren't even using any vaccines. So all sustainable small ranches. So far, no more than 30 head of cattle. And at this point, at this stage in our growth, we only use 2 different ranches. One of them is called Eola Crest Cattle. Shout out to them. It's a really beautiful little operation in the valley in McMinnville, Oregon, where we come from. And we are shifting, now that we're here in Central Oregon, to Pole Creek Ranch right there in Sisters, down the street from us. So they are, right now, at this size, they are sole providers of the suet that becomes our tallow.
Love Pole Creek Ranch.
Yeah.
Beautiful place. Okay. I think any other questions? Yes. What is the genesis of your name? I wanted to ask this too. Who's the possum and who's the fox?
So, well, honestly, when we came up with this name, our two boys, we have two little boys, and it's just their two favorite animals. So that Possum Fox.
Well, there's a good
Yeah,
story.
it's-
When this started, it was just for us. We were having fun with it. We were making stocking stuffers. And the first time this stuff ever went to market was at an elementary school Christmas bazaar.
Oh.
And we said, you guys got to come up with a name. We don't want to. Okay, what's your favorite animal? What's your favorite animal? That's what we're calling
So,
it.
it's so sweet. I love it. I love it. Okay, I think we have one more question. Who's it going to be? I guess I would love to ask a question. So how did you get through the process of refining this product? Like, how did you find the sweet spot?
So I actually, like years ago, I worked for Chanel, and which is a lot of chemicals. But what I did take away from that is I just learned about composition, about what people are looking for, how it should feel, how it should smell. And so I honestly just researched. I just tried different concoctions. I started reading up on how to render. There are different ways to render. There's the dry method, there's the wet method, there's all different kinds. And then we just started testing until we finally got to where it was exactly where we wanted it, where you can't even smell the tallow. We kind of view tallow as a base because it is a carrier. So if you, like, for instance, put castor oil on, which is really good for you, it's going to just kind of sit on your skin because it's a plant and, we're mammals. But if you put it with tallow, that tallow is going to pull it down deeper where it can actually get down and do some good, like actually really do some detoxifying. So we kind of started looking at it where it wasn't just the tallow, but using tallow as that base that we could build on.
It's so cool.
I remember our first hand cream that we made. It was super rustic. It was waxy. It was like almost like a lip balm, and I loved it. It was great for those cracky fingers. I thought this is for the loggers and the fishermen and the people that are outdoors just tearing up their hands that probably know about tallow. And Rose, I remember her saying, I want to go after the girls at the Nordstrom counter, and she got into the emulsification and the blends that has evolved into what it is right now.
This is just so cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really excited to try it.
Thank you.
Best of luck to you guys. And I hope to see you around in a lot more doors. So
Thank you.
Thanks a
very
ton,
much.
you guys. We really appreciate
Thanks
it.
for being
Thank
here.
you.
Cheers.
How about another round of applause for Possum Fox? Rose and Isaac, so well done. Really beautiful pitch. All right, tonight's next company pitch is brought to you by these amazing partners. Summit Bank is thrilled to sponsor PubTalk. We are your local business bank, Oregon's fastest growing bank, the bank with beer. And now, after 21 years, we are the second largest bank based in Oregon. We are Summit Bank, Oregon's business bank, and BBSI Central Oregon helps your business thrive, not just survive. Our local team offers tailored expertise in HR, payroll strategy, risk, safety, benefits, 401k, and LMS. We help build vibrant team cultures. Let's discuss how we can free up your time to focus on growth. So this fireside chat is very exciting. Building a lean AI-powered organization. Joining us are two local founders, Justin Johnson and Michael Ulin. Michael is a 3-time AI founder who's raised more than $78 million across ventures and scaled 2 companies from zero to multi-million-dollar ARR. His background blends McKinsey strategy training with hands-on full-stack engineering and deep LLM experience, letting him move between business strategy and technical architecture without breaking stride. Prior to 10Key AI, he built the AI team and computer vision pipeline at Zesty AI, a company that scored over 200 million properties for climate risk. The enterprise-first company raised $50 million and landed customers from Berkshire Hathaway, AAA, and Farmers Insurance. He also scaled a Gen AI legal research platform, Paxton, to multi-million ARR in under a year, raised $28 million through Series A, and won awards, including New Law Company of the Year. Also joining us is Justin Johnson. Justin is a serial entrepreneur and technology leader who has spent more than 25 years building, scaling, and exiting several companies. As the founder and CEO of Motivate, an AI-powered sales automation platform, Justin helps businesses grow faster with fewer resources by turning manual sales and order processes into intelligent, automated workflows. Prior to Motivate, Justin founded Lead Method, a channel sales management platform that became one of the fastest growing software companies in Oregon. In 2017, Lead Method won the Ben Venture Conference before being acquired by Revelize, a TA Associates-backed software company. He later founded Mighty Rep, which was acquired by Blue Agave Solutions in 2024. Welcome to the stage, Justin and Michael. Very impressive, you two. You must be exhausted.
Just getting started.
I mean, yeah, just finding your strides, I bet. Okay, so you've both built and sold multiple companies, and we want to know, how has AI changed your playbook for building a company from the ground up?
I could start on that. Yeah, I mean, AI for this group, obviously lots of different levels, professional services, farmers, tech folks. AI is at another level, as we all know. I think when you enter a new company to take on, a product market fit, grow, scale, and you start with AI now, it is an absolute game changer. What I did, I founded Motivate a little less than a year ago, after 2 acquisitions prior, and I looked at the situation as, okay, let's take AI first and figure out what those tasks that I've always accomplished, marketing, client success, development, support, sales, what parts of those roles can AI accomplish? And then where do people fit in between, the roles? And ultimately, what I saw, and I'm excited to see what Mike says, is the tactical manual processes that are done in businesses that has AI written all over it, right? The heads down manual entry of information, whether it's, writing a press release, doing marketing copy for a website, those types of things. Even all my companies have been in the tech space, software development. We wrote 60% of our code using AI agents and tested. So it's truly a game changer, but you have to attack every aspect of the business, especially when you're starting. So an example, 5 years ago, I sold Lead Method, BBC 2017 winner. We had upwards of 40 people at the time, raised several $1 million. Took at least 5 years to get strong, solid traction so that we sort of fit into the acquisition zone. In 4 months, we are in the same market with Motivate, same types of customers, solving a little different problem. In 4 months, we're at the same revenue base with 4 people. So that is something to think about. It's from all the different capacities of the business, and we do, the different functions. So that's to answer where things have come in just 5 years.
Yeah, that's great.
It's interesting.
It's great to be able to compare the two. How about you, Michael?
Yeah, just to echo a lot of what Justin said, things are getting a lot more efficient. My first company, we needed 10 people to get a product to market. My second company, 5 people. And then this new company, 3 people. And it's just kind of wild to think about, like, to start a company in the, say, Internet 1.0 era, you had to operate your own data center. Like, you needed physical servers. Like a company like Evite, just sending out invitations via email. That was a 300-person company, in the 1990s, early 2000s. Like, now I could, you could vibe code that in an afternoon, like something that just sends email invitations. So the pace is getting faster. What you can do, you're getting this tremendous amount of leverage. I think there's really two main ways of thinking about the opportunity here. One, I think, is getting a lot of attention right now, and that is we're going to automate existing processes and supercharge them. So things that used to be manual, things like data entry or answering the phones, we're just going to do that with AI, and it's going to be a lot faster, a lot cheaper. But I think where the real winners of the next generation of companies are going to take this opportunity to rethink how they're organized, how their processes work from like an AI native perspective. And you look how companies are run today that are, say, internet native or cloud or SaaS native, how different those look versus the companies of a couple decades ago. And I think the real winners will be the ones who take the opportunity to actually rethink how they do business and design for the future in mind, not just say supercharge the way things work today.
I have lots of questions. Okay. So for business owners who want to start implementing this AI tomorrow, what's the first process they should look at?
Yeah, I think it really depends on what your goals are. Like I see a lot of companies, they're creating an AI committee or they're having like a point person on AI, and we don't have like an email committee. We don't have like a Microsoft Office committee. These are like tools, right? And for some reason people put this kind of magic on AI. So I think really think about what your kind of strategic goals are for your organization. Are you trying to cut costs? Are you trying to expand? Think about what you'd like to achieve and then align your initiatives against those goals. So if you want to expand sales, then you can look into tools that could help your sales and marketing automation rather than just say, hey, generically, we want to be more AI. So I think if you want to take like a baby step, if you want to take the first steps, definitely just consider what you're trying to accomplish already and how that could be made better. But if you're really trying to, I think, future-proof your organization, like that involves, say, change management, that involves a cultural shift. So giving your employees, giving yourselves that space to experiment, test things, and encourage trials, encourage failure. Not every organization has that in their culture. And I think the organizations that do best at adapting to shifts have that culture of experimentation built in. So, really ask yourself, do I encourage my people to actually go try new things? And do they feel, psychologically safe trying something and failing? Because if you don't have that culture, then people don't want to try those new things, and I don't think they're going to adapt or change as well.
That's very thoughtful, and I think you could argue we do need a committee from Microsoft Outlook. But anything to add, Justin?
Yeah, I think a big part of a lot of our businesses is we need to get an excuse to spend more time with customers, get out from behind the computer, and build that customer service regardless of what your business is. And so at a very, very practical level for your businesses, look at the tasks in each of the departments that take the most time and are the most manual. And that could be a meeting with each department head or folks, right, to identify what that is. And then just attack one at a time and knock it out. And this isn't about spending $50,000, $100,000 on software. This is about using the traditional tools, just ChatGPT, right? Or Copilot. So your marketing team needs some guidance around how to get better quality content, press releases, web copy. Your finance team needs to automate their AP automation to bring invoices in to match POs. Just each one of those functions. And what we tell our customers is this is just about automating the process and the work that people don't always love to do, so that you can spend more time with customers accelerating the business, whether it's sales, whether it's building better relationships with the community. It's the whole thing. So to me, it's a win-win. It's not about, and I know we're going to touch on this question later, but it's not about or replacing employees. It's about giving a little bit of life to their jobs sometimes, especially folks that are in those manual tactical functions, and saying, here's the opportunity to elevate and make a difference versus just staying behind that computer, which we've all sort of suffered with in the last 10 years, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking about my home office and I'm like, I need help with dusting, Justin. I need help with yard work. Okay, that's another conversation. Let's talk about this fear around AI replacing jobs. How do you balance automation with keeping people engaged and employed?
I'll take that to start. Okay. It depends on your business. If you're a startup and just creating your business, you need to think through AI first. And then so, you're not going to have 10, 20, 30, 40 people like you maybe traditionally have. Now, the businesses that are operating and running now, we build culture. We spend a lot of time talking about why people are important for us, and it's very, very important. So our business, Motivate, we automate the order and quote process for industrial supply companies. So your electrical companies, your plumbing, HVAC that have, thousands of orders coming in every day with 100 lines, and the only way that information came in from a PDF or an Excel file was manually typed into their ERP order process system. And these folks had worked at these businesses for a very, very long time. And their mom and pop shops, even if they were acquired by large private equity companies, they still kept that foundation, that culture. So what we've done is, again, when you're rolling out these tools to your people or to your customers or whoever it is, say, look, we're going to empower you, just like I mentioned, to be better, smarter, faster, and more engaged with customers, because you're getting from behind that computer and you're actually the skill that we hired you to do, which spend time with, our customers or other folks. We're going to give you and empower you to do that. So that is, sure, maybe there's a 10 or 20% cut because folks are retiring or there's some low performers, but the work still has to get done. Those manual tasks are great, but let's now dream up what's next. And that's how we put in our perspective for folks.
Yeah, I think that's right. It's about creating this culture where it's okay to try new things, and people aren't in fear of there's going to be a lot of job cuts, because I think I've seen this at a lot of organizations where people are afraid to admit that they're using AI to make themselves more efficient, because they hear this messaging that, we're going to be replaced. And that's doing, I think, a big disservice to these organizations, because people aren't sharing best practices. They're not talking about what they're doing. They're just kind of secretly automating away some of the tasks that they find mundane, and then not sharing best practices with their colleagues or coworkers. And I think a lot of the messaging to date has been this efficiency message, and I think really we as leaders, we as decision makers, we should start encouraging people to think bigger, not we're going to take the same things that we had been doing and do them with fewer people. We're not going to say take what we had been doing with 100 people and do them with one, but why not take 100 people and now accomplish what you could with 10,000 people? I think not thinking about what we do today and say, hey, we'll save some money, but now that we can be so much more effective, have so much more leverage, why not go bigger? Why not make a bigger company? And I think to date, a lot of the messaging has been around that efficiency, cost-cutting side. And you look at prior technological shifts, go back to the Industrial Revolution. We had small local breweries, small hand manufactured goods, and it wasn't like the local brewery just suddenly did what they did with 20 people and then did it with 5. We didn't get more efficient local breweries. We got Budweiser, we got Miller, we got these giant organizations, and I think we're as soon as people kind of wake up to this new way of thinking, I think we'll see the same effect with AI. Have things of a much bigger scale than what was possible before.
do you think that this is a pathway to like improving the quality of jobs and like bringing the wages that it's stagnated up? Is it fair to say that that's one path forward?
I think, I mean, today, if I was a new college grad or if I was someone on the job market, like the probably quickest or highest value thing I would do would be learn how to get really good at AI. Like there's such a talent shortage. You know, when we're looking for people, you know, either on the operations side or the engineering side, like we can't find enough people with these skills. And like people who are AI native, I think are going to be in demand as people who were internet native, digital native in transitions prior. So I think there's going to be an unlock there. It's going to be it's going to be a tough transition for a lot of folks, but the people who are resilient, open to change, open to learning, and the people who just are generally, they learn how to learn. Like those people are always in demand, and I think will demand a premium in terms of wages.
Yeah. Anything to add to that, or?
In this whole shakeup of jobs and AI, my mind always goes to the trades, which is going to be really interesting. So, you know, something that people have lost a lot of interest in the last 20 years. I would recommend folks get into that, because I don't think AI is going to take that work anytime soon. But there is a lot of entry-level jobs that I'm definitely fearful of the recent college grads, because that's just the basic fundamental functions of those jobs are wrapped into AI for sure.
Yeah. Okay. What's a mistake that you see companies making when they first try to add AI into their business? You kind of alluded to this, but I would love to have you elaborate.
Yeah, I feel like we talked in circles a little bit around this, but I think, you know, trying to think of a takeaway for you guys and your businesses, but everybody's experience with ChatGPT and some other things, right? You throw something in there and you're just blown away, and then you go deeper and deeper. I think the advice that I would have for your companies or startups is don't treat it like just a side project. Like really go in and empower your people, but they may not exactly know how to do it. So have some folks, a part of the team, sit down with each department and say, okay, what are your jobs? What do these look like? And then define a process to automate that, and then give them the permission to use it. This isn't cheating. This is empowering them to be better, faster at their jobs. And then again, lay up this isn't replacing you. This is just getting the business and you more involved so that you can spend more time with customers. So I really encourage you to tackle that. And it's not, again, you're not going out and having to spend a bunch of money on these AI SaaS products. This is embedded. I do recommend getting if you're using ChatGPT, for example, or Copilot or any of the others, get the business license, right? At least it walls off some security. It's not just open. And you're not throwing financials in there to do some financial modeling, which is very possible, right? I mean, all those things. We're not talking about just text here. If you've got a spreadsheet that you need it to analyze, put that information in there. It'll give you some amazing conclusions that we may not even come up with ourselves. So it's sky's the limit when it comes to that. But just, you understand your businesses, dissect them, understand where you can use it, and then empower your people to do it. That's my advice.
I love that. Okay, how about you, Michael?
Yeah, I think it all comes down to people, culture, and training and empowering people. There are these stats around like 95% of like enterprise AI pilots fail to deliver ROI. McKinsey just put out a report that only 6% of companies are considered like AI leaders. And you look at those companies and the difference in financial performance is like astounding. So how do we get more companies to be at that level? And I think it comes down to having this culture of experimentation, of learning, of letting people try things. Because what I hear about today is like, oh, we've got an AI committee, and our goal is just generally to do more AI. Well, AI in service of what, right? Right. And a lot of people are just, they have their day job. they're already super busy, and then their boss or their CEO just told them, hey, on top of your 8, 10, 12-hour day, also figure out how to rethink your whole process and like reinvent your whole role. And that doesn't work. So think about finding like depending on the size of your organization, there's probably like 5 to 20% of people are these change agents who want to try new things. We're probably using AI already, and make them feel safe, encourage them to tell their stories, encourage them to experiment, because they can serve as real role models and case studies for the rest of the organization. But if the messaging is just around cuts and efficiency, like they're never going to speak up.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, you have something to add.
I want to comment a little bit about tech and software. That's our world. There were 50,000 AI startups created this year already, just so you know. People buy into this vibe coding. Non-programmers can go and throw a couple prompts together and they have, an Evite or whatever it is. So from the technology perspective, it has never been easier or cheaper to create a software company. Now, the fundamentals of a successful company, that's a totally different thing that Mike just called on. I would say 99.999% of those companies are just a pet project that somebody did in an afternoon. Product market fit will always win, right? It's, Clayton Christensen, the late Harvard professor, said customers are not interested in a 1/4-inch drill. They're interested in a 1/4-inch hole in the wall so they can hang their picture. So those in technology or anything else that will continue to win are those that come up with the idea that customers want and we're willing to pay for, regardless of the technology, right? It's the same thing. It's just a little faster and a little easier and a little cheaper to do now, but it's still the same fundamentals for successful businesses that it was 20 years ago. So keep that in mind. If everyone wants to race out and start an AI software company, do your homework, put that product manager hat on, go into the trenches, find out what people want and what you can solve, and then you'll have a business.
I appreciate that. Such an interesting moment for AI. Okay, how about a round of applause for Justin and Michael? I feel like this was a really good kind of starting point, and I'm sure that you all have questions. So I'm going to open it up to the floor, and you can ask any kind of question you want. And okay, right here.
Sorry, the captain himself.
I know. Hello, sir.
Thanks, Dan.
Aside from Cursor and other development agents and the LLMs, are there any agents that you guys are using in your companies for other functions of the business?
Okay, so aside from like cursors and LLMs, are there any other agents that you're using inside of your companies that you're finding some success with?
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of useful stuff out there. I love the note takers. Like, there's a whole host of those. Granola, Fireflies. Like, that's been a tremendous unlock of like having not having to take notes in a meeting, then having something that others can review. Like, we even take the notes from like our customer interviews, like, and we'll have a stack of like 20 customer interviews, and then have AI analyze them into a product requirements document. And that used to be like that was a really big pain in the ass for product managers, right?
Right.
And now we have something that's higher fidelity, available quicker, and people can talk to more customers and get more data. So like those sorts of things are really valuable. Like, I mean, this is kind of like it's becoming pervasive. I mean, like with marketing, you can generate content in a way that used to be a high effort thing. Like with VO, you can make, like, I made a marketing video that looks like a professional commercial that probably would have taken, I don't know, it probably would have been a couple $100,000 and made it for $50, right? Like enabling organizations to kind of punch above their weight is just kind of what's possible now. Like you can generate high quality video content, high quality blogs, have people do these operational efficiencies. So it really just depends on where you want to start, what you're aligning those use cases with your priorities, so you're not trying to do everything at once. But there's a whole host of things out there.
Yeah, like not the nonprofit sectors coming to mind for me. Like there's so many kind of T's to cross and I's that need to be dotted. And like these tools address so much of that so that you can actually be in the work, which is really beautiful. Yeah, thanks for that. Okay, other questions? Yes, in the back.
So you mentioned doing, the work, let's say, a factor of 10, meaning, you replace 10 employees with one using AI. How are you testing for people's AI skills when they come in?
Yeah, this is a great question. He's wondering, how are you testing for people's AI skills? Like, how are you identifying candidates that are up to speed?
That's a good question. I haven't gone through that exercise because we just don't have enough employees that weren't a part of sort of the founding team that developed their own process together. It is a really good question. I would probably give an assignment of that job function and ask their process and how they went about doing it. That might be the best scenario for whatever that function is, whether it's finance or marketing or PR or even, development. What is your thought process? What'd you think about? What'd you do? What tools did you use? That's probably my best recommendation on that.
Yeah, and just ask them what they've done. Like, what is a problem that you've solved with AI? And tell me about it. And even if you want to do like a work sample or what used to pass for like a take-home test for engineering that won't cut it anymore. But knowing the bar has been raised and knowing what is possible now, try to come up with a test that shows that they're able to do something in a short period of time. But I think asking people, what have you done with AI? Tell me about a hard project you've undertaken, a time when you had to learn a new skill to accomplish something. Like those are good stories and good things to test for.
Is there somewhere people can?
Sorry, can I
comment?
Please. So we're going through a round of interviews, hiring several people right now, and I was getting these resumes that just were like perfect for the job description. It's like, what are you people doing? And they were kind of similar. Like, what? And then I realized everything is going through some sort of LLM. Here's the job description, write a resume that's uniquely different and a cover letter based on my job description. It takes 30 seconds, it's on. So the real test came when they actually got to speak, because no one could cover that, right?
We call that slop. That's what we call that. It's a technical term. Is there a place that people can go, like, get up to speed and learn these skills? Like, could I take a course?
Yeah, I'm sure there is. Like, there's 100,000 things out there, I'm sure. Just ask chat where to get the information.
How can I get smarter?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great point, actually. Think about a thing you would like to do and ask ChatGPT how you would do it. And you might hit some dead ends, you might mess up, but it's a really great learning experience for kind of getting a feel for what's possible, where things can go wrong. And then, there's a lot of great organizations. Learn Air, based here in Redmond and Bend, does a lot of training. There's like Learn XYZ. There's a lot of content online. It can be really hard to sift through what's good and what's not at this point, because everything's so like new and cutting edge. But I would really just encourage people to try to do something and see where it goes wrong and see where the limits are. And that's just a great way of learning about this stuff.
So I will warn you, Chat, GPT, and all the rest of them, they have this thing called hallucinating, right? Where they want to make you happy. So I'll tell you a quick story. I know we're running short on time. I went to a presentation. I was giving a presentation, and it was about 750 people. And I asked Chat to help me with the slides. Great, amazing. Here's what I wanted to do. It gave me some great ideas and insights. And it gave me 3 incredible quotes from some very well-known people that are real. And those quotes were fake, all of it. And I put them in my deck, and I was like, wait a minute. I went back. So why would you do this? Oh, I'm very sorry. I won't do that again. That could have been disastrous. So Lesson learned,
This is
be
so
careful.
perfect, because this was just what I was going to say, because it sounds like what is emerging is when you're going to use these tools, don't turn your brain over to it, keep using your brain. And that's where we run into troubles, is when we just let it do it for us, right? And we stop challenging our own minds. So sounds like that's what's emerging here for sure. You can be explicit with it, Michael. You can say it. Tell the people, use your brains. That's what they're for. This was amazing. Thank you so much. I know we have tons more questions, so engage with Michael and Justin, but thank you for this, and thank you for the time, and I think you made it like very accessible. Yeah, thanks for being here. I love the camaraderie between the two of you. How about another round of applause for Michael and Justin? Appreciate you guys so much. Yeah, I'll take that. Thank you very much. All right, you too. Okay, so next up, very exciting stuff. Tonight is just not possible without our community partnerships. I can't say it enough. Is your business, career, or organization ready for the next step? The Center for Business at Central Oregon Community College offers no-cost expert business advising, workforce training focused on today's skills, and professional development for individuals and teams. Whether you need business or training support, the Center for Business at COCC is here to help. Learn more at cocc.edu/Center for Business. Next up, we are excited to welcome to the stage a pitch from NeoPros. Please welcome Uriel Fox, an inspired lifetime athlete and an 18-year breast cancer survivor. Following her bilateral mastectomies, Uriel saw a need for specialized athletic apparel driven by her passion for exercise and outdoor adventures. This led her to found NeoPros, a company dedicated to designing high-performance swim and athletic wear specifically for survivors. Welcome, Uriel.
Hello. Anyone here ever have I forgot that part. Okay. Anyone here touched by a breast cancer experience? It is the most common cancer among women worldwide. Anyone here suspect that boobs are big business? Generally, at one time, the number of bras owned averages 5 to 15. The national average bra purchase is 4 per year. Anyone here aware that partners leave survivors? Women are 6 times more likely to be left than men. My name is Uriel Fox. I am grateful for the experience to be here. Thank you, Brian, for the invitation. I design high-performance swim and athletic wear for breast cancer mastectomy survivors, and we are many. I am a lifetime athlete, as she mentioned, that became a breast cancer advocate by happenstance. I remain in a position of stewardship by choice. Nearly 18 years ago, I was treated for this devastating disease. Approximately 10 years ago, I made a promise and I established my startup company, NeoPros. The earliest known cases of breast cancer date back to ancient Egypt, around 3000 BC. Historically, tumors and ulcers were managed by cauterization with the fire drill. Fortunately, treatments have become less barbaric and there are more survivorships to celebrate. Unfortunately, this disease has no cure, and it continues to grow more prevalent with the increased incidence among men. Please note, breast cancer is multifaceted in its negative impact on a survivor's general health, mental well-being, and physical appearance. It is remarkable, after ages of so many medical years and surgical mastectomies, that survivors still face the challenge of finding what to wear for swimming and exercise. For many survivors, post-surgical scars remain painful and skin issues are common with suppressed hormones. Neopros are comfortable and secure sporty garments. Testers, including myself, have confirmed this claim. I am proud to share that Neopros offers a solution for confidence in motion to those who wish to remain active while wearing breast prosthetics. The value of Neopros is simply the result of the related industries not recognizing the changing needs of today's survivors. My initial focus was on mastectomy issues, both unilateral and bilateral, because I experienced both. Creating a new design constructed with thin neoprene-like fabric, Neopros challenges the competition in performance. Neopros may be worn with or without prosthetics, and it has been discovered the unique structure offers busty support for several other conditions. This bonus of a healthful versatility was not anticipated. I was unaware of the many needs until I started asking for testers to try Neopros for the health of it. To evaluate the total addressable market for Neopros in the United States, it is important to acknowledge the number of mastectomies chosen by women to treat breast cancer averages 100,000 a year. If that number is multiplied by a $150 Neopros garment, it is a surprising dollar figure to consider. The compound annual growth rate for mastectomy bras in the United States is expected to grow by 12.6% from 2025 to 2032. Consumer demand remains constant because the disease is not seasonal or a passing trend. And most importantly, exercise is strongly encouraged by medical teams. My marketing goals began here at Bend at the Women's Expo. The expanding territories includes the state of Oregon, Idaho, Washington, and California. I am hopeful that Neopros will join the national marketplace because Neopros are proudly made in the USA. There is no like competition. Positive feedback has confirmed Neopros are a much appreciated garment with a result of their own. An example of this underserved need has been expressed by prosthetic shops. They receive requests for swim and athletic tops from survivors and healthcare providers. As Neopros gains traction and credibility, I am prepared to introduce a longer tankini length of both tops. I am currently expanding my patent base and own several patterns. All styles are to be available in 5 sizes. My board members are dedicated, talented, fun-loving, and non-paid family members, friends, medical personnel, sister survivors, and me. Greg Clark, Vice President of O'Neill's Wetsuits in Santa Cruz, has remained my mentor since the late Jack O'Neill endorsed my project. The Evans Group, TEG, is a complete house of design located in the Garment District of Los Angeles. TEG has offered to work with me and to manufacture 50 like units at a time, which is really unusual. You usually have to buy like 2,000 swimming suits. By the end of this year, 2025, I'm looking to raise $15,000 in pre-sales or debt. If you are interested, please see me after the event. Thank you. I mentioned other medical conditions that Neopros has been suitable for. I want to share them with you because it was a surprise. augmentation and reduction surgeries, implant and explant surgeries, under development issues, injury and disfigurement concerns, post-lactating pressure, and transgender needs. I also would like to share with you that the first surgery with anesthetic was done in New York City in 1846. It's a long time to go with no anesthesia. Options for AI-assisted imagery readings are available with increased accuracy and early detection for the disease. And lastly, I have a full line prepared for neopros. It does include the short and the tankini versions. I have a one-piece swimsuit for leisure, a sundress, a burlesque dance dress, and a signature hoodie. That's it.
Well done. Well done. So this has been a project for you for many years. Tell me again when you started. Tell me again how this all got started.
It started when I was sitting on Jack O'Neill's beach and my daughter was braiding my hair, and I had just put down his biography. And I said, I have an idea. And she said, Mom, that's going to work. Promise me you'll never quit. And I said, no, I'll give you 10 years. So it's been 10 years and I made it.
I love it.
And they work.
Yeah.
You know, they really do work. I can go up and down in sizes. It's not a universal fit. It's more along the lines of real athletic wear. And the pocketing system is very different. It's not super universal, so you get real good security with it.
I love it. Questions for Uriel? Yes. Where will the $15,000 take you?
This first $15,000 will buy me 100 garments of each of these. And then it also pays for the patterns to size up and down for every size. I'm sticking with the 5 standard patterns that most of us women are familiar with jog bras: small, medium, large, extra large, and XXL. So I'll be able to expand and produce each of these in a short and long style. So I'm so close, and I just need that one push over, and then it should start to carry itself.
Any other questions for Uriel? Yes, one more. What's the go-to-market strategy on 100 garments?
I'd like to, in the beginning, I need to probably be paid $148 for them. And then when I'm really sure, when I've got that traction of positive feedback that I have a winner, I can do more and reduce the price on them. Is that what you were asking? Oh,
we have 100. So where are you going to sell them? How are you going to sell them?
That's the easy part. Most of my testers want one of each. I do women's events, like I did the expo. Jeep has invited me down to Moab for their women's entrepreneurial festival. Nordstrom's has invited me to return to be fitted in there. They have a really nice fitting process for women. I like the events. I like the physical events, like a rowing event, sculling event, that kind of thing. Because if you have them there, when we had these at the expo, women picked them up and felt them. Even women with breasts were like, I want one of these. It's a different feel. The fun thing about these fabrics is that they're kind of a nano foam. They're very thin neoprene. They dry quickly, so they're comfortable to wear. They're very difficult to get out of this one when it's wet, because it's for wet sports. So I'm starting small. The prosthetic shops want them. I met a woman in Redding, California that has an equestrian shop. She wants them because I never really thought about it. I ride a mountain bike. I don't wiggle that much, but a horseback woman does.
Yep.
And they wear all those tight, beautiful show garments, when they're showing. And she said they'll go nuts over these. So I just keep checking in with smaller shops. And I've been advised to do that because Greg thinks it's going to be all right. And then I'll be able to produce larger numbers and hang on to the quality that we've established.
How quickly can your garment factory turn over your order?
12 weeks.
Okay, great. So it sounds like...
Again, if you don't understand, a house of design is really fun to work with because it's all there. And the sewers are USA paid, which is really important. I did a survey with survivors and said, would you pay a bit more if they're all made here? And every one of them came back, yes. So.
That's beautiful. Yes, Julian.
So usually when a survivor reaches and gets those garments, it's actually in this hospital setting. They have a whole area for that in hospital settings. Have you reached out to that?
Yes.
So Julianne is pointing out that oftentimes when survivors are in the process of getting fitted for garments, it happens in a hospital setting. Have you reached out and looked at that route?
Yes, I have a couple docs in town that want them right there, especially for women that maybe they didn't start out athletic, but they need exercise for their immune system. There's no cure. You need to stay on guard. And so, yes. Physical therapists, I went to their Press On fundraiser. They want them there so they have them to show that there's something available that really works.
It sounds like you need more than 100 in this first round.
But you know what? I decided to why not take it reasonable? That's something I can come up with. And I wanted to get it going to make sure. And I actually think the tankinis are going to be the real winners because most of us in an athletic environment want more coverage unless we're running an Ironman, you know, and you don't want any clothes on, you know.
Amazing. I mean, this is incredible. And if you want to know more, please connect with Uriel. And I just can't wait for you to come back and give us an update.
Yep.
Yeah.
Me too.
Thanks
I'm
for
looking
being
forward
here.
to it. Yeah.
Me too.
I have cards here too.
Well done, Uriel. Just absolutely incredible. Thank you. So, I mean, was this not a fantastic lineup? How about just a round of applause? We're all a little bit smarter tonight, and I'm happy about it. So to kick off the new year at our Central Oregon PubTalk at Worthy Brewing, that's going to be on January 22nd. These are all of our upcoming events. And then, of course, you do not want to miss EDCO's annual luncheon. It is a tradition. It will be at the River House on Thursday, February 12th. Tickets will be available the first week of December, so stay tuned. They do go quickly. And if you're interested in becoming a sponsor of the luncheon, we'd love to have you, so reach out to Larry Holman. And also mark your calendars for February 26th. Central Oregon PubTalk will actually be at Open Space that month. More information on these events can be found at edcoinfo.com/edco events. Special thanks again to Worthy Brewing and Hand in Hand Productions for making it happen once again. I'm Shannon Kelly. I'm thrilled to be here with you. Have an excellent holiday season. I will miss you, but I will see you in January. Good night.